by the People's Democratic Party for the probe of security votes of past presidents since 1984. We started that with Dr. Ezife.
Yes, but that means the former ruling party wants approval of the security vote of current President Muhammadu Buhari when he was military head of state, General Ibrahim Babangida, and late General Sani Abacha, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, and former President Olusegun Obasanjo, and late Umar Musa Yar'Adua, since that of former President Goodluck Jonathan has begun.
Well, the party also called for the probe of all military purchases and expenditure during Bakassi wars, the fight against militancy in the Niger Delta, the war in Rwanda, Sierra Leone, Liberia, etc., etc.
Well, also proposed for probing is the source of funding of the PDP and the APC's 2015 presidential campaigns, including contributions from state governors to their parties.
Well, the PDP National Secretary, Lisa Metu, who issued a statement containing these proposed probes, also wants a probe of award of contracts by the Petroleum Task Force between the year 1994 and that of the year 1999.
Well, Metu, however, expressed reservation against what he describes as one-sided public trial and mob conviction of accused persons without following due process and presumptions that all accused persons are innocent until otherwise proven by the court.
Like we said earlier, we started the discussion with former Governor of Anambra State, Dr. Chukwuemeka Ezife, and also an elder statement. This Thursday, I will continue that conversation with former National Chairman of Labour Party, Chief Nwanyanwu, who is also a former Chairman Board of Trustees, Labour Party, and a lawyer. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Now, what exactly is your view on the call by the PDP for the probe of security votes of all presidents since 1984? I mean, what exactly do you make of this? Some people have said, is it possible to get the records intact?
Well, you see, what gave rise to this is what is going on with the former National Security Advisor and what has become known as the arms deal scam or whatever. You see, the last time I was here, I think it was 2 weeks ago, I cautioned and I expressed my concern and worries the way the office of the National Security Advisor is being exposed. This office exists in any part of the world, including the United States, from where we practice their own model of democracy. The National Security Advisor is one of the advisors of the President. He's advisor on security affairs. Unlike in the United States, where the National Security Advisor advises on foreign affairs, he advises on international economic policy, he advises on intelligence, and so on and so forth. In fact, a place like United States, that office is not restricted to the military. You have had more civilians, lecturers, journalists, and people from different spheres of life occupying the office of the National Security Advisor. But in Nigeria, it has been restricted to the military for maybe obvious reasons. You see, the office of the National Security Advisor is a clearinghouse. A lot of things go on there that you cannot itemize. They have to protect, advise on the protection of the integrity of the country, territorial integrity of the country. They have to stabilize the polity, the body polity. They have to ensure that there is peace everywhere. They coordinate the security activities. In fact, that office, like in one of the Asian countries, they may be protecting you unknown to you, because anything happening to you will affect the government. So it's a big assignment for the Office of National Security Advisor. So when you start probing into such an office, and I think I agree with Dr. Bukola Saraki, was it yesterday, when he said it was failure on the part of the National Assembly. It's not the EFCC. If the National Assembly had oversighted the office, we wouldn't be where we are. Such errors, such weaknesses, such things will be corrected in there, and action taken internally. I want to tell President Buhari, you don't clean this intestine of a cow in the public. You know why? You know why?
Please tell us.
Huh?
Please do tell.
Good. You don't clean it in the public. You take it at the backyard because it has pungent, choking smell. That was that time. A few days ago, we started hearing we gave the president $300. We gave the president this
$300,000.
$300,000. We gave him a jeep. They have admitted that we took one. That is not. What is wrong with that? Is that part of what we are going to hear? What is wrong if President Buhari was giving SUV jeep or another one or 5? And that's why I said you don't clean the stomach, the intestine of a cow in the public, because there's no way other things are going to come out. I am not saying that that should be a place for corruption, but there must be internal mechanism oversighted by the National Assembly to take care of such things.
All right,
In any case, I am not aware that any national security advisor will just call the governor of Central Bank, bring me $200 million. He brings it. Transfer $1 billion here. He transfers it. He is an appointee of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is the most powerful president in the world because he is the chief executive of the Federation. So what are we looking for? It's like what happened to your chairman emeritus. As far as I'm concerned, without going into the details of the case, which is now in court, it was just aimed at humiliating him, hounding him, intimidating him, cowing him, so that he would deviate from his main objectives.
well, arguably the
case. So you say what?
And so people have said reverse is the case.
Well, that is what I'm saying. People are being tried in the public. People are being tried in the public. They are being tried in the press, even before you see the facts. Look at the case of Dr. Dili. I read that yesterday. He came out to explain. And this morning I read that EFCC is after him. That is nonsensical. Dr. Dili went to his party chairman. Money was provided for his son. What is Dr. Dili's business in asking Mwazu, from where did you get this money? When he will be aware, or he was aware, that they have raised funds for the campaign. Call Mwazu, from where did you get the money you gave your people? You see, we should not be doing things for people who didn't go to school. I just give you an example. These are things we read this morning.
Right,
so it has become an issue of get them, hound them, put them together. And that's why we have to talk to the president. The president must take control of this process.
All right, let's look at what some of the facts that Dr. Ezefe said when he came here talking about this issue.
Yes.
He also said that the office is a office shrouded in secrecy, and a lot of the information that go on there are for the benefit of the presidency alone, and that to have the NSC on trial is like having the whole Nigerian intelligence system on trial. Now, again, he also said that does not mean that corruption should be allowed, but looking at funding party politics, the APC and the PDP campaign funding has also been called into question and be asked, the issue about security votes for governors should also be under scrutiny. Do you agree with that?
When I was on the other side, when I was leading a political party, I've had cause to call for how they get their funds. But you see, we should not be asking from where does a bird feed when you have seen the bird eating from its mouth. PDP since 1999 has funded its campaign from the governors, state funds, from the contractors, from multinational corporations and individuals who benefit from the system. APC funded this last election from Lagos and hugely from River State people's money. So let nobody pretend we know it. In fact, I was watching a movie because I had it on my tape, when they had a reception for Amechi. Apart from saying that Amechi brought teeth to the campaign, that he mobilized huge resources. Amechi, we're not aware Amechi discovered electricity, nor whether he has a software in the computer. It was River State money. So why are you asking me for how they fund their campaigns? These are state funds used to build infrastructure that should be used to provide good health services, etc., etc. That is the truth. Let anybody pretend.
So you're saying that the president...
So calling for the probe is you thief, I thief. So how do we probe ourselves? So, but it was good the spokesperson of the opposition says so. You know, he has to do his work. He's doing his work real good. But this is like calling for probe of all the security allocations since
including the military.
Including the military. You know it is not possible. There is a need in the office of the National Security Advisor. And that is why our President Buhari, has to be a little bit careful. Because all these things you are chasing Dasuki about, I said it in the last interview, that this present National Security Advisor will still use that office for the same purpose. Because it has to be done to stabilize our polity. If they don't do it, we'll be in chaos.
But the argument is that, it shouldn't have come from the office of the NSA. It should have actually come instead from the office of the Secretary to the Federal Government. And that is not what the office was designed for.
You see, there are things that are treated as security matters. And there are things, security and intelligence, as is so-called, it's not something for public domain. They do a lot. I don't have to start counting. There you have the good, the bad, and the ugly. So you cannot go and probe. You are probing the whole Nigeria. You are probing the whole government since the time you are calling for it from military. There may be abuses. And that's why I agree with the Senate President 100% when he told his colleagues that the fault was theirs for not doing the oversight functions. Because if they had done the oversight functions, they would have seen such things happening. Look, why are you using this money for that? Why are you using this for that? Okay, we are saying that it was money meant for arms. Even the one that was admitted that was given to our president, was it not from the same fund? Whether you gave to Kumbo vehicle or you paid 5 billion, is it for the same fund? The same offense. And that's why I said they should leave that office. Let the National Assembly go and do its oversight and then do the necessary, because by the way, if we continue, there are things that are yet to come out. And the whole world, they're looking at us. I googled something 3 days ago. They're laughing at Nigeria. National Security Advisor's Office. It is the most powerful advisor in the new federation. The man has a lot of power around him. It depends on how you use it. And that's why there must be oversight function properly done by the National Assembly. It is not something that a carpenter will come and comment, a driver will come and comment, a bricklayer will come and comment.
Does it not also remove the secrecy and the mystery around that office if the legislature is also allowed to, do oversight function? Do they come to the public to discuss the findings?
No, but at that level, you see, there are things. When I attended the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, Kuru, in 1992, my orientation changed. Because there, Nigeria will be put for you on the table. There are things you don't discuss. Not that it's a secret, but there are things that will be left as they are. If you don't, it will affect the body politic. That office must have to be oversighted, but that office should not be brought to public domain for everybody to comment. Once they hear 100 million, this is another 100 million, 2 billion, they finish our money. Everybody is talking about it. You don't even know what it is meant for.
Okay, so Chief, how do you think this administration should have handled this investigation, as we're seeing it now? Because what should they have done differently? Because we're seeing the PDP asking that the former president should also be probed. I mean, the offices of the former president should be probed. So what should this administration do differently? Or what should they have done differently? Because when you look at the monies involved, $2.1 billion and the insurgency in the Northeast, and the fact that, a lot of the military men that were on the field at that time were complaining that they didn't have arms to fight. So now we have a probe going on of the NSA's office. We have the PDP saying go back in time and begin to probe all of the governments involved. What exactly do you think the President Buhari should have done differently?
Before answering that question, I agree with you. You recall in one of your programs too, my view was that those soldiers should not be punished because you don't send a child to climb an iroko tree with bare hands. That was my position then. Arms, nobody agreed to sell arms to Nigeria. What was the cause? It was based on the petitions written by ACN and their functionaries to the international community. Based on, they said there was human rights abuses in Nigeria. So they refused to sell arms to Nigeria. We are in a dilemma. Now they're in power. They cannot remove those restrictions. They're still not selling arms to us. We have to go and get it through informal means. And that's why when you are throwing stone into the market, make sure that your mother didn't go to market that day, because your stone may hit your mother. ACN did it because they wanted to bring down Jonathan's government. There should be no arms, so that when we come, we clear the mess. Their functionaries were shuttling between America, Europe, and everywhere. They blocked it. Today they cannot remove it. And they cannot sell arms to us. Even with what has happened now, they will be justified on the human rights record of Nigeria. So be careful when you are throwing stones into the market. And if you have in mind that this country is our country, we are not that country, you have to caution yourself, you have to warn yourself as to the extent of what you are going to say and do against your fatherland. Now, on what the president ought to have done, or how they would have investigated this matter. You see, my position is, in fighting this corruption, I said it last time, I'm on the same page with the president. But it must be in accordance with the law. My worry, and that of most Nigerians, is that if President Buhari doesn't succeed, it will take us a long time, whether those people in his cabinet, whether those around, it will take us a long time to get somebody that will assume this office of the president with the goodwill and the pedigree he came into office with. That is our worry. And that's why he must close his eyes and you forget about people who are parading second term. We have not done first term, we are talking about second term. Do the right thing, clear the mess, then you will be remembered for what you told us as a man who fought corruption.
How can he fight corruption, really?
We don't fight corruption by carrying people and locking them up. I will give you an example. How it is done in other climes. Pistorius, South African, he has been convicted of murder. He will spend Christmas in his house. But he can't move an inch because the security is with him. They are around him. South Africa. The people we brought out from slavery. The man is going to spend Christmas in his house. Do your investigation. Gather all your facts. Invite Nwanyanwu. Look at it. He gives you his comment. Go home. 2-3 days, you are not satisfied. Come back. I'm in court. You leave the court, you have finished your own. Public trial has never yielded dividend in Nigeria. And we are back to it.
So are you saying that the EFCC, now, a lot of people want to know, is playing the script of the president or is playing the...
No. I'm not saying the script. There are so many things that happen. I don't want to say what I'm not sure of. I'm not saying they are playing the script of the president. But you see, I also say that the young man was just appointed, he's still acting. You know, he has to do some razzmatazz. So that you'll be seeing that he has gone. If you bring all the big men, lock them up, they will say, he's working. But how many convictions, indeed, when you put the test of law on it, will you achieve? Can you achieve any conviction? Dasuki, for example, is saying that all I did, I got the approval of the president. He has just told you that I'm a messenger. The only thing is, sorry, I don't want to go into the case is in court. So why are you, what is your problem? Go to Oteka, ask Mr. President, did you approve this? Did you approve this? So it's not the man.
So
The point I'm making is you have to conclude the investigation. Let us stop this public television trial and do the right thing. We can still get people, but my concern is getting our money back.
how we will get our money back?
We'll get our money back. President told us he has recovered some, and probably those people are not with the FCC. He has made a promise that he will publish the names.
All right.
So that's my take
We're
on
still
it.
waiting for him to fulfill all that promise.
They will.
Talking about publishing of names, and like Chief Dan Nwanyanwu said here, stop the media trial, let's do what the law says and follow due process, hoping that it will not be about, personalities or witch hunting. Chief Barrister Dan Nwanyanwu, MNI OFR, lawyer, public affairs commentator, has been talking about security votes, and of course, it's an ongoing discussion. Definitely, we will revisit it again. Thank you for joining us. It's good to always have you. It's good to always have you. Well, Miss Heritage Africa contest is the third interview we're going to be having here. The triumph of Miss Heritage Nigeria, and the story so far. Stay with us.
Africa, you see. Africa, you know.